Thank you for tuning in to 26 Sports. It's your host, Mike Redler. Today I'm on with a very special guest, second guest of the day, and we're on with no other than the great amateur, decorated amateur, and standout red hot prospect, the one and only Tito Mercado. How you doing today, Tito?
I'm doing good, man. And yourself?
I'm doing good, bro. Can't complain, can't complain. So let's get into it, man. You came off of 22 time amateur champion, right?
Yeah, 22-time national champion.
22-time national champion. You're tearing up the pro ranks right now as it is. You're making a name for yourself really quick, man. How's that feeling for you? You know, just coming from where you started to where you're at right now, and you know the notoriety you're getting already so early in your career.
It feels good, man. Just knowing that all the work that I put in is obviously paying off, and that I'm able to, once you get to the pro ranks, you start getting more noticed and more recognized for work. So it just feels great to be able to get that from so many people and see the support.
Exactly, man. And then you just had a fight a couple weeks back. You're back on May 12th. How is that? Managing coming back, fighting so quick. Is it easier for you because of your long amateur career, where sometimes you would fight, day after day, or does it take a little bit of a toll on your body?
I think maybe from my experience, like as you said, as an amateur, I used to fight 5, 6 times back to back,
Yeah,
nonstop, making sure I was on every single day. It's not like I could rehydrate back up. So I think that kind of gave me a little edge on that. But just my experience, my fights have only been going only around, so it's not like I've been in a,
yeah.
crazy tough fight. So I'm able to bounce back real quickly, and my training camp's good. We know how to slow it up, and we know how to turn it up when we need to. So we know how to make the adjustments to be able to perform again right away.
That's good. And as you said, man, you're still young. You already have that knowledge of doing that. As you said, you had to be on um, on that point, on weight consistently. You couldn't rehydrate how some people in the pro ranks do it, where they jump up 10, 15 pounds overnight. So it's something that you're used to, and obviously the results have been great. I mean, dominating performances, as you said, first round knockouts over and over. So you're not putting stress on your body. I'm pretty sure it's more tiring in the gym than it has been in the fights, right?
Yeah, man, the walkout and all that lasts longer than I think. I think more time exhausted.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking the picture costs me
Taking the
more
pictures
than the
and walking out.
fight, man. I think that's more exhausting and more stressful than the fight.
Yeah. So first, how did you get into boxing, and like what made you want to be a fighter? From an early age, because you're young now, so this has have to be something that you've been wanting to do for a long time.
I originally got started with it with my father. He started training my uncle at I think he was about 13, 14 years old. My dad used to box, and then he stopped for a while, and then he started training my uncle, and I just seen them working out. I didn't really get to spend as much time as with my dad. He was always working or training my uncle, so I was like, you know what? Why not? It looks fun. So I'm the one that brought it up to him. I was like, I want to do the same thing too. So the next day, he had my ass up at 5 a.m. and we started.
That's cool, man. So, at what point did you notice? Damn, I'm pretty good at this because 22-time national champion. That doesn't just happen to anybody. So at what point, was it in your teens or maybe even before that where you noticed I'm pretty good at this thing. I got a future.
Honestly, I knew I was good like around 9, 10 when I barely got my first national. When I was winning fights, when I was 8, 9, local shows, I knew most of it was because I was so hungry and a bitch throwing a whole gang of punches. I just wanted to win, but I knew that I had skills and stuff. So probably about like 10. But when I knew I really figured it out and I couldn't be beaten, I started just winning nationals after nationals and figured out how to. A lot of guys they try to figure out, oh, this guy got to box different. I just figured out how to win, and it was different because I wasn't really boxing with guys no more. I just figured out how to win. I knew how to take momentum at certain rounds. When to pick it up, what the judges were looking for around like honestly like 16 years old. That's when I just started taking everything.
Okay, so then that would need my next question there. Was there a point like in your fights where the fight slowed down? Because a lot of people will say like in other sports that the sport's moving real fast when they go from certain levels, but in boxing it could be like a shoulder movement from your opponent, something with their head where what they're gonna throw or what they're thinking of throwing before they actually let it go. Has there been a point so far in your amateur or your professional career where you caught that?
Um, yeah, no, in a way. I think maybe. I could say yes, but I mean, when you're doing this so long, after a while, it just becomes instinct. You know, some guys catch. I mean, some guys catch on to it, some guys don't. But I think for me, it's just more instinct now. Where I kind of, if I throw a jab, I kind of suspect him to throw a right hand, try to counter me or something like that. You know, I kind of already have my instinct on it.
Okay, okay. So you're 5-0 right now, right? You
Yeah,
have your next show May 12th. You're obviously you're picking up the level of the opponents that you're facing as you're. I mean, not being fast tracked, but you're looking so good that they can't be putting you in. You know what? Any type of fighter at that point. At what point do you want to fight? Maybe for a regional title, and then at one point do you think you'll be ready for a full on world title?
Honestly, man, I feel like I'm ready for it now. You know, if it was up to me, but unfortunately, the thing don't work like that unless you're Lomachenko and you got the special privileges, right, to go for it as
Right.
your second. You know, hopefully, you know, I get a title, any type of title by the end of the year, and you know, honestly, by next year, I feel like I'm more than ready to go and compete with the guys that they say are it right now.
Okay. Yeah. So shout out to my boy Stacks Anthony. He just said that December they're looking for a regional for you. So that sounds about the time that you said, right? End of the year.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay. So now you're in Southern California area. Um, you obviously have to be getting good training and good sparring. What known fighter or even if you're not a known fighter, do you think has given you the best work in helping you prepare for your fights?
I always get that question a lot, man, and it's always hard because there's so many great fighters out here in California, or
Yeah.
like that come out here, get good training. But I think for sure Chocolatito that I sparred with. I sparred him twice, one in Nicaragua when I was over there fighting. After I was done with my 4 day tournament, I saw him at the gym, and I was like, "All right." My dad's like, "You want to spar?" I said, "All right, fuck, let's go." I
Yeah.
mean, I already did 4, tired a little bit, but let's go in. But I sparred him one time in Nicaragua and one time in Coachella, where he trains out over there,
Yeah.
and it was great work, man. It just you know, I mean, when you spar a guy that's a pound for pound, I mean, he's obviously pound for pound for some reason, right?
Yeah.
So he knew little inside tricks. He knew how to sneak those little body shots in inside the middle. I was like, damn. But he definitely gave me the best work, and I was just. It was hard to not admire his shit so much, and actually, you know, and at the end of the day, I'm in the ring with him. So, but I was trying to not admire his stuff. I was like, damn, the way he does things is nice. You know?
Yeah. So obviously you had to have picked up a little bit of stuff from him. Have you used anything that you've picked up from him yet in the ring?
Yeah, a lot of stuff in the inside, and sometimes I even use the stuff on him, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's surprised too.
Uh, yeah,
The second time, around,
he's a legend for a reason, as you said, man. And he you watch him fight, and sometimes you just get lost in how flawless it looks. Like it looks so simple to him. And as you said, I mean, if you're in the ring and it's happening to you, as you said, you're probably like, damn, that's not. Oh shit, okay, yeah, I got to hit him back, So yeah, I
right?
mean, I'm over here watching the fight, like, damn, how did he just go from that punch to that? How did he move this way? Like, damn, how did he get out the way? So yeah, I mean, as you said, you're sparring him, you're not fighting him, but you got to give him work. But then you get caught up in that moment of, damn, he just landed that shot on me. That was nice. Like,
Yeah, I got to realize that I'm a fighter, not a fan in there for
yeah,
like those hard.
exactly.
But he's
But that's one of those moments where you get to say when you get older, if you're world champ, maybe even double champ or something, you could be like, you know, work that he showed me helped me get to this point because I remember that. Not every fighter's gonna have moments like that.
exactly no, and I mean him being from my dad's home country, Nicaragua, it's just even bigger. Honestly, like pride I get out of that. So it's dope.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's what I was gonna ask, knowing that you're from Nicaraguan descent. How is that different for you? Because everybody in LA that's a Latin fighter, they automatically assume they're Mexican, right? Something like that. So being of Nicaraguan descent, how does that feel? Repping that when you come into your fights.
It's dope. I'm actually Mexican descent too from my
Yeah,
mom's side, so it's like I get to both worlds. But it's cool, man. It's just a different type of culture. They love boxing just as much as the Mexican community, and so it's great to have both communities that that love boxing so much be able to support you too. So that's dope.
yeah. I mean, I knew you're
And some
Mexican, but
great fighters.
yeah, I knew you're Mexican, but it's just every time you hear it, it's always like, oh, he's Mexican, he's Mexican, he's Mexican. It's like, well, there's other fighters that got different parts. That's not every Latino is Mexican,
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they automatic.
exactly. So that's why I'm
Exactly.
like, all right, I got to get that. Especially as you said, you're training with Chocolatito a couple times. He's probably the best Nicaraguan fighter in the history of Nicaragua. You know, shout out to Alexis Arguello as well, but Chocolatito has done some amazing things. So, you know, I mean, like that's me. If they were to tell me, hey, you want to go do a few rounds with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., I'd be like, oh, shit, hell yeah, you know, why not?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
exactly.
of course. You know, there's legends. Charlie's one of the greatest, but hands down for sure, Alexis Arguello is always going to be the number one for Nicaragua. I believe.
Yeah, and that's why I asked Chocolatito. I've asked him before, and he tells me the same thing. He's like, no, it's always him. And I'm like, yeah, because I get it. You know, he's the one that started it, and he's done some amazing things as well. But I wasn't able to see him like how I see Chocolatito. I mean, Chocolatito, I've been watching since he was fighting over at the LA Sports Coliseum in 2009, 2010. And I just remember back
Uh-huh.
then, I was just like, damn, this dude can fight. And then I watched him grow and grow and grow into where he's at now. And I think he's still doing it. So I always tell people, in my eyes, he's the best that I've seen. But that's also because I've seen him in person as opposed to Arguello I never seen. But I've seen his fights and I could respect what he's done. So, I mean, those are two
Right.
legends that you can never take anything away from right there.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So now you're in the pro ranks. You're fighting. I think as of right now, just for 360, right?
Uh, no. Well, for this bout, it's going to be May 12th. That's for 360.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm just.
you're
Yeah.
a free agent at the moment, though, correct?
Yeah. Correct.
So around what point, maybe, are you starting to look at um, future fight or future promoters, or have you gotten calls yet from any of those promoters?
Yeah, we get calls all the time, man, from promoters, managers. You know, they're always interested. But right now, the vision that we got for my career is we want to have it different from all these other fighters. You know, all the other fighters, you know, they have it's kind of always the same thing. We want to stand out from ourselves, and we have a different vision for our career. So that's the reason we're kind of holding out a little bit. But you know, if the opportunity does come, and you know, something that we feel like it's great for me, then you know, we'll take it. But as of now, I'm liking being able to fight whenever I want. You know, there's not a lot of prospects right now are not fighting.
Yeah.
You know, 7, 8 times a year. That's what we're planning to do. We're trying to get a lot of fights in, and you know, it's just fun, man, to be able to fight on all these local shows and have all these local fans and just build it like that. That's dope.
Yeah, that is because you get, as you said, you fight when you want. You don't have to wait on getting a date. You're the one making it. So yeah, you can't beat that, especially as a prospect. That's invaluable experience that you get to build up in a short amount of time.
Exactly. And those club shows, man, are dope, man. Those fans be going crazy. So it's always, I know it's gonna be a different experience from me fighting when I go to the MGM or the Garden. It's gonna be
Yeah,
different, but those experiences are gonna go a long way with me, and I know I'm gonna be telling stories about that one day.
exactly, man. I remember the first fight I ever covered was at a outside casino, outside in the. It was like literally on the side of the freeway, but that was the first fight I covered in person. And I remember when I covered a fight at the Honda Center, I just thought, damn, I
Yeah.
really came from fights on the side of the road to watching fights inside the freaking Anaheim Honda Center. I was like, this is crazy. But yeah, it's like I think about it, I'm like, man, it was popping out there. It was hot. People were screaming. Uh, it was Andrew Reeves was in the main event. I'm like, damn, look how far he came to where he's at now.
Right.
So it's like, damn, you really don't know what you're gonna see and how fun it is at those club shows.
Yeah, it just makes it all more special, right, man? When you get to you know, to the top, as they say,
Yeah,
it just makes it all more special. That's
exactly.
dope.
Yeah, so I mean, especially I mean, for me, I soak it in as a fan and someone that covers the sport. You as a fighter, you come out to those moments where at the club shows or the smaller arenas, all your friends, your family, everybody's out there supporting you. And then one day you're going to be walking out MGM, T-Mobile, one of those places, and you're going to see 20,000. Maybe in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium one day 65,000, or shoot, who knows, Fury type status with 94,000 fans. But you'll
I,
remember always those little shows where everybody could touch you and support you.
yeah, and like you were saying, 20,000, 30, a fan of faces I don't even know, but they're there to watch me do my thing. So it's gonna be crazy. And like you said, the Tyson Fury thing, that's crazy, 94,000.
Yeah,
And I'm not the type of fighter like like Mayweather. They're just gonna fight in MGM. I definitely want to fight different places, even if
yeah,
it's in the UK. It's just dope like that. You know,
yeah,
like my fought in the he fought over there in the Philippines. I feel like
yep,
doing things like that, that's crazy. I think that's dope.
yeah. I
More
mean,
experience.
speaking of that, Chocolatito, he's fought in New York, L.A., Vegas, Japan, all these different places. It's, as they say, it's world champion, not, local. It's world champion. So, I mean, where Mayweather, it was cool. I understood why he did it. there's no taxes. They ain't taking your taxes anywhere else. But
Right.
in Vegas, you get to keep all that money, so that's why he did it. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, so many of these fighters. I mean, you see like Canelo. He's fought in New York. He's fought in Vegas. He's fought in Texas. He's fought in California. I believe he's going to fight in the UK at the end of the year if he wins his fight next week. So yeah, if boxing's giving you the opportunity, take it and fight all over the world because that's something special.
Yeah, it's dope, man. It's gonna be tight. I
Yeah,
can't wait for my moment.
yeah, and then you think, as you said, the Fury won 94,000. When I was watching that, I was like, damn, man, like he filled up a stadium, a soccer stadium. You're seeing the crowd, the lights, the fireworks. I was like, damn, man, that's dope. Like just to think that they're all there just to watch two people fight. Like at the end of the day.
And not to bash Fury, I think Fury is a great fighter. I think the entrances and the looking at the stadium how it was more exciting than the fight. I
Yeah,
was like, damn, like that was just crazy. And the
yeah,
entrances, the way they're doing, I thought the fight, I was like, that shit's crazy.
yeah. The Fury one, I was just like, damn. Like the way he set up, walking out to Biggie, sat on the throne, and then just ran the rest of the way. I was like, man, that's
That
dope.
was
But yeah,
funny.
the fight was whatever until he got the knockout. But no, yeah, the entrance was like, damn, man, like that's crazy. There's been certain ones where I just get stuck. Like I think when Spence came out with his old high school band to one of his fights was dope. When Canelo came out to the Folklorico in Texas, that one was tight. So there's certain ones you see it and you're just like, damn, those are dope. So as you said, the more you get up quicker, you're gonna be able to have those types of moments and sell out shows. So you
Yeah.
said you would love to fight in the UK. Is there any different area or country that you personally just can't wait to fight at, or would just love to have at least one fight?
Besides what? Besides UK?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple places I definitely want to fight in Nicaragua. Just because I mean, there's not really big fights over there, and
yeah,
for me to have a world championship, I think that would be lit, and I think a lot of the Nicaraguan people will be over there supporting me for sure. Definitely in Mexico as well, and I want to do one in Philippines too, like
yeah,
Muhammad Ali over there. That'll be dope too. So
yeah,
I think definitely those three right now, and then I mean, I'm pretty sure my list is gonna keep adding on. The more my fan base grows, I mean, getting from different countries more and more.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'll want to go there too. So it'll be dope.
yeah. That's dope. Yeah, and yeah, Manila would be dope. That just as you said, man, those arenas there or the stadiums that they look like, man, that'd just be perfect.
Yeah, man. So like I said, man, I just can't wait. Those are just a couple of them. I know I'm gonna be fighting in more countries just because I mean I like the experiences, man. It's gonna be dope. Like you said, taxes or no taxes. I think the experience is just everything. And
Yeah,
then for a lot of fans from different countries can't come out to my fights in the United States. So for me to go out there over there, I think it'll mean a lot to them too.
yeah, definitely. Now, um, obviously, since you said you've been doing this since you were a kid, so what was there a fight that you watched where you knew, besides how good you were, that this is really what you wanted to do going forward? Like, was there just one fight that sold you on boxing?
Uh, there's a lot of, man, but one that I always constantly keep watching. Well, dang, that's a good one. Honestly, I like the Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez fight.
Okay,
The
okay.
first
The first
that
one,
was a pretty,
yeah,
even though it was like a lot more brawling, not so much. I mean, there was skills involved, but it was just a all out war. I think that was one of my favorite ones. Just to watch, it's just so exciting.
yeah. Now, how did you feel about the end of that fight? Because that controversy that lit up. I mean, I wasn't old enough to know it yet, but how did you feel the ending was handled?
I think it was a little inappropriate. I mean, he only had a couple seconds left. I mean, but at the end of the day, the dude was really hurt. I mean, with those 5-10 seconds that were left, or was I think the bell
Yeah.
already rang, didn't it?
No, it was
Actually, the bell.
when he asked him if he was okay. I think there was like 5 or 6 seconds, and when he finally stopped it, there was only 2 seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't know. I mean, Chavez could have rushed up to him again, gave him one
Yeah,
more shot that really could have, really messed up his whole life for good.
yeah,
So I mean, only the referee knows, but I mean, it's definitely. I know if I was Major Taylor, I know it would be hard for me to live with that.
yeah. And see, here's the thing: have you ever seen the Legendary Nights from HBO on that fight?
The legendary what
Legendary
analysis?
Nights.
Legendary Knights on for that fight?
Yeah,
No, I don't think I've seen it.
look it up on YouTube, and your opinion will change a little bit because same way I was like at first time I ever seen that fight, when they showed it to me, I was like, I'm a big Chavez fan, and I sat there and I was like, you know what? I don't know, man. 5 6 seconds, they might have let it go. Yeah, Chavez could have caught him, but who knows? But on the legendary nights, it was done. I think in 2002. They show a side by side of Taylor in 1990 talking coherent, clear. In 2001 or 2002, he was still fighting, and you could not make out anything he said. And when they talked to the doctor from that night, he said he had multiple bone fractures in his face from that night and peed straight pure blood for hours. So he was
Damn.
badly beaten up. And then they show him, a few years later how he was talking, and they said, imagine one more punch that night in that condition, like where he was broken. Imagine one more punch to the face. What if it sinks it in? So after that, I'm always like, yeah, you know what? He made the right call. Because, yeah, you never know. One punch in 1 second could end everything.
Yeah, I mean it's a dangerous shot. I mean, there's a reason why a lot of fighters, not even in the UFC you get that, but in boxing you get a lot of fighters that are dying from
Yep.
certain blows, certain fights. So it's like I mean, I'm gonna watch it definitely, but
Yeah.
I mean, you just that one shot could change your whole life around.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why you gotta you gotta see it. So Stacks is saying here that you in your last fight they brought you out with the mariachi.
Yeah, they brought me up to my It was pretty lit. Everybody was jamming to it.
Yeah. So those are those moments, right, that you're talking about when you come out like that. You have those type of experiences. Um, it's always special, as you said in the club shows. But can you already envision coming out to a mariachi in front of 20,000 fans?
Oh yeah, I could imagine that. I think see, I'm an entertainer type of guy, so my interest is gonna get better than just mariachi. I'm gonna have all type. I feel like my interest is gonna be like just as exciting or more exciting than Prince Nassim Ahmed. You know, how he always came out with something
Yeah.
crazy. He was flying on a damn carpet in the air,
Yeah.
or he had the. I, I'm that type of person too, so I'm gonna do have some crazy interests. So I know not only is the fight gonna be exciting because I'm an exciting type of fighter. I like to give the fans what they like, and the interest is gonna be dope too. So I can't wait.
Yeah. The only thing is though, you got to make sure you got to keep those skills on point because you see what happened to Prince when he ran into the wrong guy on the wrong night, man.
Yeah, I mean, it. Yeah, but his thing, he was so exciting, but he had so much flaws with his hands
Yep.
down. But it was exciting for a while. He did it right. It was exciting. He
Yeah.
just like
Yep.
you said,
Yeah. For me, I always tell people I feel like he was the most overrated fighter, but I couldn't take away from the excitement. I mean, that dude, he did what he was trying to do. He was trying to bring energy. He was trying to piss you off if you weren't a fan of him, and he was trying to get under his opponent's skin, and it worked because someone would hit him, he would make him think, "Oh, I'm hurt." They'd walk in, and then bam, he'd catch him with that left hook or right hand and drop him. The only one that figured it out was Barrera, and once he figured it out, he said, "I'm good. I don't want to do this no more."
that was funny, man. But he was a really good entertainer, and I know that you really loved him. So, but as far as like the ring interest stuff, but I'm never gonna keep my hands down and have my
Yeah.
it hit have my whole head reach my legs like he did. But
Yeah.
it was exciting though,
Yeah, oh yeah, he
without a
was
doubt.
definitely exciting. Like that fight with Kevin Kelly, I think that was the one before Barrera. That one was bad because like they knocked each other down. I think 5 or 6 times in that fight. But yeah, I've seen your fights on YouTube, and then I think the last one I did see was on Fight right on Fight TV from the 360.
Yeah,
I think yeah. So I watched that one when
I think that was called Red Promotions.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
Red,
Yeah,
but it
that
was
was on.
through Fight TV. It was on a Thursday
Yeah.
as well, right?
Mm, that might be a different one then. But
This
that
last
one might
one
be. Oh,
was
the
it?
last one before this one,
Yeah, was it on a Saturday or on a Thursday? I'm trying to remember.
Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. So that's yeah. I
Thursday.
watched that one.
Okay, yes, that was on Fight TV then. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
yeah,
was.
yeah. Because I caught it right when you were already in the ring. Like so I didn't see the walkout. I caught it right when you were already in the ring. Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah,
yeah. I got home
they
from
gave me extra.
work and I was texting. I was like, hey, what time does the fight start? And they're like, he's in the ring. I was like, oh shit. So I put it on right then and there. And then I was like, all right, here we go.
At least you were able to catch the fight, man.
Yeah, yeah,
It ended so quick, man. I thought that he was gonna give me, like you said, we're trying to step up the opponents. He fought a lot of good guys like Isaac Cruz, Hank Lundy, and they didn't. I mean, they took him out, and I seen the fights. They were kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was landing some shots too, but they didn't knock him out within three. after 3 rounds,
Yeah.
and when I hit him with the first shot within like the first 20 seconds, I was a little pissed because I'm like, why? Come on,
Why
like
you
I was
gonna
trying to put
drop?
on a show. I
Yeah.
was trying to get a, but I was
So
whatever. It is what it is.
so when you end fights that quick, because I know a lot of fighters that they like the knockout, they like that they're able to end fights. Does it bug you because you want to get rounds and you want to get experience? Does it bug you a little bit if they go out so fast?
I just feel like I can't enjoy the moment like the way I want to, just because it's just so early, and the type of fighter I am, I like to. I mean, excuse me, I like to beat the shit out of somebody. So I
Yeah,
like I like to be for a while too. I like seeing the face of them once they start getting discouraged and know they got no hope. I like seeing all that. But for me to do it within a minute or two, that kind of like I mean for the when I jump on the ropes and everything for the first like 10 seconds, I feel excited, and after I'm like, damn, it didn't last as long as I wanted.
yeah. You're
But I
just
mean,
like,
it's
oh,
cool.
come on.
But I got to be grateful because there's fighters out here that can't punch at all, and they wish they got knocked out. So I
Yeah,
just got to take the good with the bad with the bad.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, you take what you get and then you accept it because, as you said, it'll give you that option. Though, I mean, maybe if you fight 5 or 6 rounds in one of these fights, you suffer some sort of injury, something that prevents you from being able to get 5, 6, 7 fights in a year. You're only able to get maybe 2 or 3. So if you're able to get the
Right.
knockouts quick, hey, you get more fights in.
Yeah. But I'm definitely always looking for the knockout return. It's not
Yeah,
like I'm not. Just for it happening the first like within the first minute or two, it's kind of But it is what it is.
yeah,
Like I said, there's other fighters that can't hit. So I'm grateful that I'm able to.
yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, like you said, that they can't hit. They have those long, struggling fights. You're able to get out of there real quick and shoot, could still go enjoy the night, right?
Yeah. So it's cool. Like I told you, the entrance and the pictures that takes more out of me than everything else.
Definitely. So now you're at this point right now. Again, you have a fan base that's growing. You've done a lot of media lately. I talked to someone that spoke with you before, Cynthia Conte. She was talking about you. You're generating stream. How are you able to keep your head focused and just pay attention to what you're trying to get to and ignore the outside noise? In this case, that's actually good for in support of you. But how are you able to block that out while you just focus on your fights?
I mean, I think that just goes back to my amateur thing too, when, I had to fight. I mean, it's nothing compared to the crowds now, but or actually, when I went overseas to Europe to go fight, there was big crowds of all different types of countries. I wanted to. So I think I just kind of from experience, I kind of know how to. There's a big change. I know when people see me from just outside and then compared to the ring, they see me and I'm super locked in. I don't really want to talk to nobody, none of that. I'm just straight focused, and I know what I got to do. I'm not the once I notice a lot of people when they look into my eyes, they're like, "Hey man, you look like you're about to kill somebody." So I'm like, that's what I'm about to do. It's a different type of mindset that I bring
Yeah.
into it. And I'm just able to honestly just pay attention to everything because I just focus on my craft. I have a good team. They help me out with all other aspects that I don't need to be dealing with. So I'm focused on the fight.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fight. You're not there to hug and see who got the best hugging power. You're trying to see who's gonna win and knock each other out. So that's how you got to focus. Now, in your amateur days, you again 22-time national champion. What do you believe was your toughest fight, and who was a fighter that you fought then, who's doing something in the pros now?
I mean, I fought a lot of fighters right now that are signed to top rank, Matchroom, that I all beat. Um, they're good fighters. Tough fight. I don't really recall having a tough fight. There was a guy that had me. He tried to give me difficulties on doing what I wanted to do. Making it difficult for me to be able to land shots. That was actually the fight I did in Europe. He was we're fighting at 1 2 with like a 77, 78
Oh wow.
wingspan. Damn. And according to them, he was a 7-time gold medalist. He only had one loss, and I was like, all right, they're over there blowing him up. They're over there trying to get me nervous.
Yeah.
And I fought in the evening session, so I fought at 6, and my teammate he fought his twin brother in the morning,
Oh
and he murked him. I'm not gonna lie, it was 5-0, nasty, and I was like, damn. I was like, okay, they know how to fight like that. And worst case for me, he was a southpaw too, so I was like, all right, whatever. And he was just making it difficult for me, man. He knew how to fight in the outside real good. He didn't want to even let me get a shot on him. I was like, all right. and then the coach was telling me I got to turn it around. I was like, man, give me some real instructions. So I had
Yeah.
to turn it around. Experience I already had, and I was like, I didn't have my father there, so I kind of had to, just uh, had to make believe
What he would say?
little corner what he would say to me. And I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go over there and do. And I pulled off the fight. The last round, I was just turning them up. But it just fights like that where guys make it difficult and want to make me try to think tough fight. Tough fighters, they're good, but they don't. It's not nothing out of the ordinary. You get tough guys all the time.
Yeah. So that fight obviously had to help you though in your experience going forward because I'm guessing that would probably maybe the first time you fought somebody with that type of style that made it tougher for you than you expected.
Yeah, it just he had a really good IQ, and like I said, his physical abilities. He was 6'2", long wingspan. I had my father, so I had to make so it was a little difficult, but like I said, I was able to pull it through.
Now, with this fight that you got coming up May 12th, do you know anything about your opponent so far? And if you do, how quickly or how much do you want to get done in that fight?
I watched a little bit on him. I know he has a MMA experience background, so he's kind of. I know he's a brawler. He fought a guy. His last fight, he fought a guy named Keyshawn Davis, who I want to fight as well. But
Keyshawn,
he,
yeah.
I know he took him out in the second round, so I want to make a statement on that, and I want to take him on the first. Just like I said, I like showing why I'm different. If they say he's special, I want to show why I'm more special than him. So he took him on the second. I'm hoping to take him on the first and just put him out cold.
Okay, now, would you want stoppage or like a maybe a one hit knockout?
Uh, I like one hit knockouts, but I mean, it just, I told you, man, something about it. My mindset, if I'm hitting you 15, 18 shots before the rep comes in, too, that, I don't know why that excites me, too. So it's like either or, but I would definitely like to put him out cold. I think
Yeah.
it's more, I think,
You want that viral shot, right? That one where everybody's retweeting and posting on all social media later on.
yeah, I mean, you have to, man. I have to show, like I said, I have to show why I'm different. I don't want to be like these other fighters that are content with doing the same as other fighters or getting an unanimous decision win. I don't want that. All my fights, I feel like most of my fights will be knockouts, if not all of them. So I keep going.
Yeah, and you can't beat them, and that again. That's experience, and then especially since his last fight was against Keyshawn. Keyshawn fights tomorrow night, so if you're able to make a statement where you get a first round knockout, or maybe you finish him in more devastating fashion than Keyshawn, that'll definitely open up eyes and get more people watching.
Yeah, like I said, I just want to show I'm different.
Yeah. So
I don't think right now that could mess with me.
okay, there you go. I love the confidence, man. So obviously, man, you got confidence. You won the 22 amateur championships. How far do you think you could go in weight up? And how many titles would you like to get before you call it quits? I know you're just starting out, but how many weights do you think you could move?
That's a hard one to answer. Just, I mean, it just all depends too. A lot of fighters they can go up in weight, but their power doesn't carry. But in my case, I feel like I'll be able to carry it. Hopefully, I'm thinking at least 168.
Okay.
If not, go up a little heavier to cruiserweight or something. But you never know, man. Like I said, I like to take a risk. I might bust a Roy Jones and go up to heavyweight one fight and then come back down. Yeah, I mean, you just never know what the possibilities, man. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, but see, with Roy Jones though, his problem was that he went all that, and when he came back, he lost all that strength and muscle and everything, and made him weaker, man. So you got to do it right if you're gonna
Yeah,
go up
last
like
fight,
that. Yeah,
that's gonna be one of my last fights, and I'm tired. Do WWE exhibitions like Tyson and like Tyson Fury and Mayweather doing now.
oh, yeah. Hey, that's where all the money's at after. So take it.
Yeah,
Now
but hopefully 168 though at least.
at the highest 168. Okay, I can see that. So one last question, just because I always like it, especially asking the younger fighters who have knowledge of the sport like you. What's or who's one fighter? You already mentioned Keyshawn as a present day fighter. Who's one fighter though, past, maybe present now, that you would have loved to share the ring with? Not like because you have a beef with them or anything like that, but just that you would have loved to share the ring with, just because of how great they were as a fighter and how much you respect them.
Past or present?
Yeah.
Past, I definitely would have. That's a hard one. The past one, because mm, definitely would have to be. Damn, that's a hard one, man. Can I give you a couple options or just one?
Yeah, a couple options. Go ahead.
Okay, if it was past, I think Sugar Ray Leonard for sure,
Okay.
Roy Jones, and Roberto Duran. I
Okay,
think
I
those
like
three.
those ones. I like those ones. Yeah.
For present, Lomachenko, Canelo, and I like to get in the with Floyd, even though I
Okay.
feel like that was like him right, just because I mean he did it the best. So
Yeah.
I think going there with him,
Yeah. Those are
but
good
definitely
lists.
that would be.
Yeah, you can't beat that right there. Those three are good right there. I asked another fighter a couple years back, same question. He was at 140 and he was just coming up, and he gave me an answer. I'm pretty sure you would know who this guy is, but I was thinking he's gonna tell me like somebody at 140, past or present. He would have been like, as you said, you mentioned Duran, fighters like that, Chavez, Taylor. He said just because he knew he was gonna have to brawl and it was gonna be a fight where they beat the shit out of each other, he said he wanted to fight Mickey Ward.
Mickey Ward. Damn, that's a I wouldn't suspect that answer,
Yeah,
but
because he said he
that's like
knows that it was going to be a fight, that he wasn't going to go in there and the guy's going to be like, all right, I'm going to come out here and box you. He's like, that dude was going to make me fight, and I would have loved that type of fight one time. And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, but Mickey Ward's that guy that could catch you. He goes, that's why. He goes, it's a dude that you got to be ready for at all times. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I like that answer. I was like, that's not expecting that because he's like a prospect. He was coming up and he told me that. I was like, shit, dude, I like that answer though. I was like, that's dope because that shows knowledge of the sport.
did he add a Torgatti in there too by chance or what?
He said he would have fought Gotti, but he said Ward was just that guy that he said, well, Gotti, he knows if I knocked him down, he was going to get back up and we're going to have to keep going. But he said Ward, he goes, Ward, I could have broke his jaw and he'd probably laugh at me and be like, let's go. So he's like, Ward
Yeah,
was just that special guy.
that's crazy though. I wouldn't expect that answer, but I mean, that's a his reasoning was. I
Yeah.
mean, he wants to give an. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't. I
he's
can't.
like, I would want one brawl, and if it was gonna be one brawl, he's like, it's Mickey Ward. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. I was like, damn. I was legit thinking he was gonna say Chavez or like you said, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, and he's like Mickey Ward. I was like, oh shit, dude. I was like, you're trying to die. Yeah. So no, those.
What was that? Yes.
Luis Feliciano. He fights for Golden Boy.
Did to fight Mickey Ward?
Yeah, he told me that a couple years ago. I remember in the interview too. You could see me. I'm like, oh shit, like damn, bro, for real. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He
Wow.
he he goes out there to LA a lot, Feliciano, to train and do all that too.
Yeah, I heard he had like some type of injury or something, right? That's why he hasn't been fighting. Or
Yeah, he.
something.
I think it's in his hand or his arm or something. It's been slowly recovering. So yeah, he's
Yeah, but I heard he's back already. So
yeah. I think he started training
he's a
again.
really good,
Yeah, yeah.
real good fighter. So
Yeah. I think he had a like a regional title fight in Puerto Rico, and I think that was either the fight where he originally got hurt or before, but he had gotten a headbutt and was cut bad, and he still, pulled out the fight. So yeah, he's got real skills and he's got heart. So those are the type of fighters that, hey, one day maybe that's someone you might see in the ring because you guys are around each other's weight class right now.
yeah, that would be dope, man. That would be a great fight. He's a
Yeah,
good fighter, man. Good
yeah,
fighter.
good. So man, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it. I know you got training and everything going on with the fight coming up, but I want to thank you for coming on. I know you got a bright future ahead of you. Got to keep bringing you back on, before all your fights, so everybody can keep up to date. But before you go, man, I want you to let everybody know where they can follow you and where they can watch your next fight.
You can follow me at Real Tito Mercado on Facebook, Instagram, everything. And my next fight, you could actually watch it. I mean, if you're on my socials, you could see where I have the link at. But I believe it's going to be on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah,
So on May 12th. And it's going to be a great show, man. I'm predicting a knockout like I always do all my fights. And I always keep my word. So
yep. And he
that's how
said
it is.
first round, guys. Remember that first round knockout to prove a point and make a point. So again,
Exactly.
man, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Hopefully, we get you back on a lot. And for everybody that tuned in today for both shows, I want to thank you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your weekend and enjoy the fights this weekend, man, because we got a great set of cards coming up to tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah. So thank
My
you
bad
guys.
to cut you off. Who do you got winning?
Oh, which one? The Shakur and Valdez?
Yeah, who do you got winning?
Um, I'm gonna go with Shakur, bro. Like I've had Valdez on. He's a good dude, good friend. I'm good with this team, but after the last fight, for each of them, Shakur looked way better than Oscar did. Now, like I was mentioning with Cynthia, if it comes down to it though, if Shakur gets a little tired or can't move as much, my question is going to be is if he could take one of those shots from Oscar, because we know if Oscar lands one of those left hooks or right hands, he could probably knock out anybody. Honestly, at that weight, he hits hard, bro. Like I've seen him train. I've seen him train, and I've heard about him knocking out somebody 2 weight classes above him in sparring. So that kid could hit.
Yeah.
So if it's gonna be, if Shakur does what he has to do, he's gonna win. I think. But if he tries to go toe to toe, he's gonna mess up and he's gonna get caught. Who do you think is
Yeah,
gonna win that
most
fight?
definitely. I'm going for Valdez. It's gonna be a difficult fight, like you said. The what's his name? Cancio? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Robinson
Garcia. Yeah,
Cancio. Uh, I mean, the time that he was boxing and not messing around, he was making Valdez look really bad.
yeah,
Shakur, that same type of fighter that's gonna just want to use his distance. I see Shakur. I can see him winning unanimous decision.
mm-hmm.
A lot of people keep saying they see Shakur stopping him, but in my eyes, I don't think Shakur has no power at all. To be honest with you, at least not to stop.
Not
Honestly,
stopping.
like anybody from 130 up, I don't see Shakur stopping or knocking nobody down.
Yeah,
Uh, I do think I do think he can win unanimous decision, but
yeah,
knocking him, and then Oscar has too much heart, man. So I don't
yeah,
think so. But I think if he gets overconfidence and he wants to prove a point, because I think that's his biggest fight right now, to
yeah,
prove a point. I think if you try to prove a point, get in the inside, I think if Valdez catches him on a shot, I don't really think that Shakur's chin is really. I think it's a little suspect. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though we haven't seen him get tested yet, I think it's suspect for a fact.
yeah. And that's what my questions was when he got hit against Nicatilia back in his fight before Jamel. He said himself, "I don't like getting hit like that. I didn't like that he hit me. He hit hard." And I was like, "Well, shit. What do you mean? Like, does that mean that he hurt you?" And then in his last fight, he won. He won convincingly against Jamel. Jamel's my boy, good friend. But he won. But he never hurt Jamel. He got him cut, and that's really why they stopped it was because of the cuts. He didn't really. It wasn't that he hurt him. He just he was outboxing him, and then they stopped the fight at that point. But Jamel was never hurt to where he said, "Oh, he had me close to going down." He just was catching him. He was just beating him on that night. So I could see him beating Oscar that way. But again, if he gets that moment where he's like, "Oh, I'm winning this fight easily. I'm gonna go knock him out," and he walks into something, I don't know. Like I think if Shakur wins, it has to be a decision. He's not gonna he's not gonna outbrawl Oscar. He's not gonna outfight him like that. He could outbox him, but he's not gonna outbrawl him.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
I think for Valdez, I don't think Valdez will win a unanimous decision, but I think he would knock him out.
yeah,
So it's I don't really know what's gonna happen no more. So that's why I'm excited for that fight. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah. I can't wait for that fight because man, yeah, that's the biggest question. They both have questions to answer, and Stevenson says he wants to become a star. So the way he has to be a star is he has to beat up, not just beat Oscar. He has to like beat him up, do something impressive. He can't jab jab, move jab jab. Occasional power shot. He has to throw combos, bust him up, maybe stop him or knock him out. But if he tries to risk that, he's putting himself at risk of getting caught and dropped himself.
Exactly. He has to take risk, and that's we don't know if that risk is gonna pay off for him in the end.
Exactly. So that's why I can't wait for that fight. I'm excited, and then I'm excited that both cards tomorrow they're staggered. So by the time the zone card ends, is right when the ESPN card will be beginning.
That's dope. So yeah,
Yeah.
they did it
So
a good time.
yeah. So it'll be. I think that the zone card for us on the West Coast, I want to say it starts like at 3, and everything will be done by 7, and then the ESPN card will be starting on 7 o'clock on the main card. The undercard will be on before that, but the main one, the 3 fights will be on at 7 o'clock.
Well, that's smart from both promoters because I
Yeah,
mean, if you put them at the same time, he's gonna lose out on somebody.
exactly. And
So I mean,
yeah, I'm like, I know there are different fights. One's the women's fight, one's Shakur and stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, give fans the option to watch both fights so we could enjoy it. Like, I mean, I don't know how if you do or don't, but I like women's boxing, so I'm always gonna support it. So I'm gonna watch the fight too, the Amanda Serrano and Taylor fight, because I like both of them. Amanda's a badass fighter, period, bro. I don't know if you've ever seen her fight, but she could box and she's also done MMA. She's choked girls out in MMA, so she gets down. And then one of my friends is actually fighting Franchon Cruz de Zern. She's fighting in the super middleweight women's undisputed fight on that card too. So I'm looking forward to that card as well as the Shakur and Valdez card.
Yeah, lately I've been seeing a lot more women and women that a lot more skills, man.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised they don't get enough credit, I
exactly.
think. But definitely, I'm just happy that both of them will be on. I'm able to watch both of them, and it's gonna be a good night of boxing for sure,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
doubt.
So I was telling my girls like, hey man, I'm gonna get food at like 2 o'clock, cook whatever, and then I'm gonna just be on that couch. Don't bug me. Let me chill and watch it the rest of the night so I can do what I
Yeah,
gotta do. Yeah, it's gonna be a long day, but I'm gonna enjoy it.
yes, man, definitely.
Yeah, so all right, bro. Again, man, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you again for coming on, bro. Appreciate it a lot. Everybody that tuned in and watches it later on, you know, the replay. Make sure you follow Tito. Make sure you watch his fights and watch this man grow into a possible multiple time world champion right here. Up to 168, he says. So make sure you tune in and watch him as his career grows. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And as always, guys, Stevie forever, bro. I love you, nephew. And you guys have a great rest of your evening and weekend.